Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. So today I wanted to quickly bring something that I found at the base of operations to your attention, and this is mainly for those who are very interested in the lore of the Division 2 or the Division as a whole, its universe. Now, we know for those of us who've been doing some research that the way the Division was actually extracted from the whole Tom Clancy's universe is a very small segment of the entire Tom Clancy plot type deal. And so with all that secrecy and stuff, it's very difficult kind of to pinpoint exactly where these division agents are from. But all in all, we know that there is a very thick plot with Aaron Keener, with Gordon Amherst, and a few things going on in New York. And so after this update, you will find here by the crafting and recalibration station, you're going to find some recordings that actually refer to Gordon Amherst and then also speaks about the finding of his body and then the cause of his death. Again, you're also going to get another recording that also speaks of Aaron Keener being wanted. Now, a lot of people said that Keener was dead, and I was like, I don't think he died because, you know, if you look at the little echo from the Division 1 of his conundrum and how he pretty much, or the situation that caused him to turn against the SHD, you're going to find out that there's not a conclusive, part of that whole echo that says that Keener died. And so to see that Keener is still wanted and Keener is still alive is something that's, very good in prepping us for that return to New York City, which is probably going to be, I think, in episode 2, where we're going to be going back to NYC and we're going to be dealing with most likely the good old NPC factions that we left when we left New York. And so I'm pretty stoked about this, and I really would love to see what the developers have in store for New York. Now, one big thing that I would mention is the Division 2, yes, has a beautiful atmosphere, but there is something that's really, in a sense, very special about New York and the snow. And so now that, the Division 2 has continued 6 months later, what if, and I'm thinking the lore can take us in episode 2 back to New York City, maybe in another, few months, and then we can see snow and then iterations of the Division 1 that the community has been begging for, like survival, can then be put in the front and the center. I think this will be a natural shift and a natural progression for this these core elements that do make up a lot of the gameplay that the community extremely enjoyed in the Division 1. And so I'm really happy to see this because, to be very honest, the plot of the Division 2 is nothing. It's got nothing on the plot of Division 1. And Division 1 didn't really have much of a plot itself, but, what it had was so special, especially for those of us who really experienced the game in depth, and we knew a lot of those things, and we went and gathered, as pretty much almost all the echoes and, most of us the recordings, because remember when they opened up the extra portion of the map, it was kind of necessary for you to have gathered a lot of the phone recordings. So you could hear a lot of those phone recordings, which Ubisoft used to, kind of frame the story. Many game studios would do that for specific games to, tie up plot elements. And it was very refreshing to actually, see how New York was, the snow, the atmosphere, the darkness. And a lot of people agree. And I've seen comments, even if you go to the trailers right now for Title Update 5, if you go read the comments for that video that was released just a few hours ago, you're going to see people talking about how New York was special. Everywhere you look, whereas the Division 2, what the Division 2 is being spoken about, there's always that, nudge and kind of tip of the hat to how New York was so special. And so it's really nice that the developers are bringing this in there. I think they even know how special New York was. And yes, DC was a refreshing aspect, but bringing it back is actually pretty cool. And then another thing too, I'm gonna throw in there is most of you that are gathering your audio recordings, pay attention to them. They're very important. They give so many big clues, and even with the missions, the mission introductions. If you highlight a mission on the map, there's usually an introductory conversation that's going on. This is how I was able to predict that we were gonna have the Division 2 in Washington D.C. For many people, they probably didn't pay attention to it, or maybe they knew or they guessed. But for me, it was quite certain, because if you go back to the Division 1, Falcon Lost, which was the first incursion in the division, you'll notice that your commander, your supervisor, her name is Fei Lao. It's not like the guy that we have here, and the angry girl that we have here in Division 2. Her name is Fei Lao, loved by the community. Everybody really loved Fei Lao, and she said something in the end of that mission. She said, I need to go find out what happened to the President of the United States. And so when the Division 2 was announced that it was going to be in DC, and the Air Force One, had been grounded and all these things, I made a prediction video around that time saying that I think it's going to be in DC exactly because of these recordings. So pay attention to those. Look forward to seeing you guys in New York, hopefully when it comes out. And I just wanted to bring this for those who are very invested in the lore of the game, who enjoy those kinds of things and enjoy the story. All right, that's all I have for today. Thank you very much for your time and your audience, and I guess I'll see you in the next video. Peace.